This summer, the Army Air Corps will be standing guard at Buckingham Palace, St James's Palace, Windsor Castle and the Tower of London.
Keep those arms pinned into the side!
This is a prestigious event, and before they can stand guard they have to practice their drill. So we're going out on the parade square in this month's edition of Young Eagles.
By the centre! Quick! March! Left! Right! Left! Right!
It's a hot day in June, and it's the first day of training for the Army Air Corps' Public Duty Squadron. They have 4 weeks of drill training ahead of them, and it's gonna be a tough time. And Hugh has met up with Staff Sergeant Kelly to see how things are getting on.
Yeah, the guys are enjoying it, I think, what they tell me. They've all got smiles on their faces. Obviously this weather is going to be hard work for them, you know, with constantly being on the parade square all day, doing drill, but also with the heat as well. But I think the guys are enjoying it, it's going well.
Have you done public events like this before?
Yeah, I was privileged to be on the Army Air Corps' 50th anniversary, and we did public duties of Buckingham Palace, St James's Palace, Windsor Castle, the Tower of London and Holyrood Palace up in Edinburgh. I was lucky to be one of the staff sergeants involved in that parade, and that was fantastic. It was our first time, but this is just as special for me because it's a whole new bunch of lads doing the same thing, but you know, starting again, and we've got to up the standard. At the moment we took it to a good standard, we competed with the guards, but now we need to raise the bar slightly higher.
Even though you have done it before, do you still find you're nervous?
I'm looking forward to it immensely. I mean, yes, you do get nervous, the hairs on the back of your neck, especially when you march from Wellington Barracks over past the birthday cake, the main roundabout outside Buckingham Palace, and once you go on that forecourt and start your left form, it's pretty impressive. It's about equivalent to running out at Twickenham playing rugby.
The Public Duty Squadron have come together from lots of different Army Air Corps units. Staff Sergeant Kelly is based in Brunei, in the Far East. And this is Corporal Schmidt. She is based in Germany, but she comes from South Africa. Hugh asked how she came to be serving in the British Army.
Well, South Africa is part of the Commonwealth, and therefore Commonwealth soldiers can join the British Army. I work for one Army Air Corps in Germany as a signaller. That is my trade, so I do signals.
So what does that involve?
That involves radio operating and speaking to aircraft, also speaking to troops on the ground.
Have you done any operational tours?
Yes, I have. I've been to Bosnia and Iraq.
And how are things out there?
Well, it was our work, hot weather. Something
Same as
same as today.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit warmer, but good experience. Good to see how we're making things happen and making things, you know, help things to change for the better.
Have you done any public duties like this before?
No, I haven't. This is my first time.
Okay, so are you excited, nervous, looking forward to it?
Well, I think a little bit of everything. I'm very excited. I am nervous because I need to perform, or I always feel I need to perform, but I do enjoy it, and I think it's a big honour to go guard the Queen.
So looking out there, it looks pretty tough. So how are things going?
Well, it is tough, but we all enjoy it. It might not look like we are, but as soon as your squad or your flight get everything together and everyone does everything at the same time, it's a rush and it's a good feeling, and that's why we do it.
A very important part of the public duties team is the Army Air Corps Band. They provide an escort to and from the palace, and they'll be playing a big part in the public duties training. And Hannah has met up with Corporal Roberts, who plays the cornet.
Stuart, what's the difference between a cornet and a trumpet?
Well, hello Hannah. The difference between a cornet and trumpet is not really that much, to be honest. The main difference that you can visually see is that this cornet, and then you have a trumpet next to it, which looks a lot longer. It looks much bigger. But the reason why that is because the cornet is wrapped up a lot tighter, therefore it does look smaller. The sound that the cornet produces is quite a dark sound. The sound that a trumpet produces is quite bright. So that's why trumpets are normally used for certain things like orchestras and sometimes wind ensembles, the kind of ensembles that I play in my job here. Cornets are used for brass bands, can use for wind ensembles, brass quintets, things like that.
Can you give us a tune?
I can indeed. I'll play you the Army Air Corps March.
Okay.
That's
well cool. Does it take a lot of breath out of you playing it?
Not really. I've been playing now for 17, 18 years, so I get quite used to it. When I do marching band, that takes the breath out of you.
So you're rehearsing for public duties at the moment. Is marching and playing at the same time really difficult?
It is, because not only have you got to walk and play at the same time, you've got to read music as well. And the music is on a small piece of A5 paper, all right, and it's landscape, and the dots can be quite small, so it's very hard to play, read what you're actually playing, and then watch where you're going as well.
How don't you walk into anybody?
Well, I'm quite fortunate because being a cornet player, I stand 2-3 ranks back. So I just have to follow the leader. But we do have a guy called a drum major that stands at the front of the band with a big stick called a mace. And he's the one who directs us where we need to go.
Have you done public duties before?
I have done public duties before. We, as a band, we did it back in 2007, 2 years ago. That was the first time I ever did that. And it was such a very exciting experience, you know, marching from Wellington Barracks, going on to the forecourt of Buckingham Palace. You're actually standing in the palace, you know, on the forecourt, and it was really exciting. A bit nerve-wracking, but very exciting.
How did it go?
It went really well. When we did it 2 years ago, we did it in the month of June and July, so it was getting very warm, and the clothing that we have to wear, the uniforms, which we call ceremonials, they're dark navy colour, and in the sun it's very warm and very hot. So you need to keep your wits about you and make sure you have plenty of breakfast and plenty of fluid, because you don't want to collapse on the floor.
Do you just play in the band, or do you have any other roles in the army?
We do have other roles in the army. What I do in the band is my trade, okay, but I'm still a soldier first and foremost. I could get deployed at any time on operational duty. Musicians used to be medics, known as medics, and that reputation still is very close to us, but that's not the case anymore. What we're used for is general duties and mainly chemical decontamination areas.
So the troops are rehearsing the drill for the first time today, and how well are the band prepared? Are you nervous or excited? Or?
Well, the band are always prepared.
Okay.
They are. Not really nervous, just excited. We do marching band all the time, especially in the summer season, the summer months. We do a lot of marching band, so it's second nature. There's some members in the band that are new and they've not done it before, so I guess they'll be nervous. But when it comes to the crunch, when we're ready for the off, we won't be nervous, we'll just be really prepared and really looking forward to it.
So the band and the public duty squadron are all looking forward to performing their duties over the summer. And you can see them at Buckingham Palace, St James's Palace, Windsor Castle and the Tower of London during August. And we'll be seeing them at Windsor Castle in a later show. That's all for this month, but come and join us again next time when we'll be finding out all about autogyros and meeting a veteran pilot who will be flying in one for the first time in 47 years.